Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Morales. Thank you for joining us for Oil and Gas Investor Headlines. The U.S. oil and gas industry began the process of getting back to normal this week following Hurricane Harvey. Winds and storm surge damaged the Port Aransas, Rockport, and Corpus Christi areas along the Texas Gulf Coast. The more than 50 inches of rain that fell on southeast Texas broke the national record for rainfall by a single storm. That rainfall caused severe flooding and damage all across the greater Houston area down to the Golden Triangle. At least 8 U.S. Gulf Coast refineries began the process of restarting operations, and 4 were operating at reduced rates, while the status of Eagle Ford shale operations trickled in this week. EOG Resources dialed down its third quarter production volumes due to Hurricane Harvey related shut-ins. Carrizo Oil and Gas also updated its Eagle Ford shale assets and facilities, saying nothing was damaged as a result of the storm. Among refiners, ExxonMobil said its Baytown restart is continuing and pipelines are beginning to transport fuels. Earlier this week, production units at the Beaumont refinery remained shut down because of flooding in the lower level of the plant. And you can find a more thorough list of those effects on midstreambusiness.com. Hart Energy's Doug Eagle Ford Conference in San Antonio has been rescheduled for November, and the A&D Strategies and Opportunities Conference in Dallas will now be in October. For updated information on those changes, please visit hartenergyconferences.com, and we hope to see you there. Harvey didn't halt everything. It's important to mention in this week's A&D news, Continental Resources trimmed more than 32,500 net acres of non-core leasehold in the Stack Play and Arkoma Basin in Oklahoma, while Rose Hill Resources likes its chances to quadruple its footprint to roughly 20,000 net acres in the Delaware Basin. Rose Hill's president and CEO says, quote, "We're definitely in the acquisition market," end quote. And before we go, we must also acknowledge Hurricane Irma's threat to the United States. Florida Governor Rick Scott is urging people to get out of the storm's path. Georgia and the Carolinas also on alert for impacts. We are monitoring the path of this potentially devastating storm and what the effects may be for our nation's energy industry. Through this trying time, we've seen stories of compassion and selflessness as volunteers and first responders risk their lives to save others. We've also seen donations pouring in from individuals, sports stars, organizations, and from oil and gas companies. You can read more on those generous acts at oilandgasinvestor.com. Thank you for watching this week's edition of Oil and Gas Investor Headlines. We hope you, your families, and business assets are recovering. I'm Jessica Morales.
To stay up to date on the most recent Hart Energy videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking here.